we got a very special guest from Central Coast Surfboards, Scott Smith. Scott, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Stoked to have you here. So
Yeah.
we'll hop right into it. Central Coast Surfboards has been in business for 48 years, which is amazing. You took over
Yeah.
in 2017. I got to say, you probably had quite the roller coaster from
It's been
2017.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
2017 to 2024. But what I want to hop into right now, with it being 2024, are what are some of the new brands that are doing well at Central Coast Surfboards, and what are just some of the staple brands that continue to do well?
Yeah. Well, some of the smaller, newer brands that we brought in the past handful of years is Former is one of them. We were just talking about those guys, and that's a good, fun company that's fun to grow with, and so they're doing a good job. And Fast House, which is kind of originally non-endemic, to surf, most more moto, but they had a deal with the 805 brand,
Oh, cool.
and we brought them in, and now they're getting into more, this year they have more surf-centric lines, and we're doing a lot of the 805 branded gear from them, which living in the 805 is, it's a cool brand for
Yeah,
sure.
speaks to the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm constantly getting, approached by smaller brands. And one of the challenges is, just finding space, because there's cool stuff out there that would be neat to have and kind of have like a rebirth with the new brands, as all the big brands are getting shifted around. But, like for the original question, like, Volcom and Ruka and even Quicksilver, those brands still, even though behind the curtain there's all kinds of stuff going on, they do well and have solid sell through too. And I've got great reps, so they help kind of
Yeah.
grease the wheels too on those things.
You,
So
you kind of hit on two things though too, though, is one, you have great reps, and two, talking about like just brands that speak to the community, people coming in and already identifying the stuff. A conversation that keeps coming up lately is reps coming into stores and reps clinicking the retailers on the brand, so that way you can share it with the community. Um, how would you say like reps coming into your doors on a consistent basis plays into the sell through of the products they carry, if that made sense?
yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I think their role is very important. For me, it is, I don't know, like I'm sure all shops are different, maybe not, but the ones that are on it and help manage their racks and stuff like that, uh just make it easier for me to stay on top of it all, and just keeping a sell through. If we have to send anything back that's a dud, we do. And I, like, for most of my good brands that are doing well, they have a great rep, so I feel pretty fortunate in that way,
Yeah, I
you
think
know
I always say, working in sales too, it's like reps, you got to go in there, provide a service. And in the long run, that's going to pay off, especially when you're showing up and keeping everybody
for
educated.
sure, for sure.
You know, don't be an order taker, provide a service and help the shop out, because you have enough going on. I mean, even right now, you kind of gave me a quick little tour of where you're at. You're back there working.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100 things on your mind. You don't know if, a traction pad peg is down to 10, like,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we were just on the phone, I was on the phone with Dane Nabel, who's our, Excel rep and ProLite and a number of other things. And I was just on the phone ordering with him, getting stuff on there and stuff like that. So I'm very hands-on for sure,
that's awesome.
doing bulk of the ordering and things like that.
Awesome.
So it's cool.
Going back to community, I know San Luis Obispo. Well, I don't want to say I know, I could be wrong. I believe it's what Wednesday nights is the street market.
Thursday night.
What is
Yeah,
it?
Thursday night. Thursday
Thursday
night,
night.
the farmers market. Yeah,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is more than
anybody
a
who's
farmers market.
listening, sorry to interrupt you. Um, Anyone that's listening, if you haven't been to San Luis Obispo downtown on a Thursday night, that farmers market is pretty epic. The community all comes out, supports each other. How do you find that plays into new customers finding Central Coast Surfboards?
Yeah, it's cool. That brings a lot of people downtown, but it's a street fair festival or whatever type of thing. So on the next street over. So it brings a lot of people downtown, and it does bring people in the shop that are passing by, but the bulk of the people are you know, in the middle of the street, for what they're there for. But it helps for sure. Having things like that in any downtown for a downtown store is going to bring more eyes to the shop. So that's cool.
Awesome. So we hit on it earlier. You took over the store in 2017.
Yep.
Um, Looking back on that time when you first took over the store to where we are now in 2024, can you share any insights of things that you learned through that time or things maybe you would have done differently in the beginning um, over those past few years?
Yeah, like through from 2017, I came here after a year off from owning another retail business for 17 years or so. And got this shop, for because it's kind of what I do, and it's cool and it's fun. So when I came in here, I was like, all right, just kind of get in startup mode, even though it's been established at that time for 40 some odd years. But my whole purpose is one, because this is such a legendary shop, to preserve it and preserve the Stoke for the generations of people that have worked here and all the customers who came in as kids and now they're bringing their kids in, or even came in, are bringing their grandkids in, um, so that's been my kind of job one with this shop, is just keep it rad. And so going through those first few years, just, kind of ran a tight ship, and then getting through the pandemic years was, in hindsight, kind of fun. At first it was sort of scary, and then, but, I was hustling. I never closed down. We were supposed to close down, but I set up the shop for half-hour blocks for personal shopping so people could come in by themselves. And at first I was all gloved up and masked, like everyone's freaking out, like I needed a spacesuit or something. But then once we figured out everything was kind of mellow, it was good. So it gave a good opportunity to just be in touch with our customers and stuff like that through all that time. And then, like, as we know, for our industry and a lot of outdoor industries, that next year and a half or so was kind of a boom time. And so that was fun to get through that. And now we're on the other side of that, kind of just kind of getting back to normal and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if I would have done anything different through it. It was it's just a good adventure, really.
I mean, it sounds
So
like
I do enjoy it. So what's that?
sounds like you enjoyed it and you rose to the challenge and you overcome those
Yeah.
challenges. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's the only option, just keep things rolling, keep the
Yeah.
stoke flowing.
Keep the doors
Yeah,
open, keep it going, keep having fun and
exactly,
enjoying what you're
exactly.
doing.
Yeah,
Well, looking forward, I think, as you mentioned, we went through that big boom and then there was a little bit of dip because I feel like there was a abundance of product out there.
yes,
And
yeah,
we had to work through that because there was that point where nobody knew if they were going to get anything. Everybody
right.
stocked up and, we're starting to work through that, I think, and we're seeing this light at the end of the tunnel. As we come into summer 2024, what advice or what hopes do you have that brands would do that could help retail in general? I don't want to answer the question.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
So what do you
I
what do you what
mean,
do you
like,
hope brands to do?
one of the challenges, so saying towards the brands, what could I
Yeah,
ask for
like
them to
what
do
advice do
better?
you have for brands that could really help retail this summer?
Um, just keep the product flowing, not discount heavily direct to consumer. That's a challenge, always, when we're selling a product and then they're selling it as well, and not always, but sometimes discounting and things like that. But we're starting to get our spring shipments and summer shipments, and the lines this year look good, and the shop is full. So I'm just moving forward, like it's always boom times, and just don't want to miss any sales and just keep people stoked. So I don't know what I could hope for from the vendors other than I just kind of keep my mind on the big picture and try not to get caught up in these little short period times where it's like, there's like sometimes things just aren't flowing as easy as they can.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just know like here at Central Coast Surfboards and my staff, like we need to do the work. We need to, do the hustle and we'll be fine, So, I mean, I depend on the vendors for merchandise, but and it's nice to get help from them and things like that. But I know like we carry the weight on our shoulders to make Central Coast Surfboards go for another 50 years,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy to think what the world will be like in another 50 years.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really thought about it in a long time. I remember the first time I went to Central Coast Surfboards, I actually think you guys were one street over in a
Yeah,
different,
on Higuera. Right.
and there were so many boards in there. I remember walking in there. I was actually a surfboard rep. It was in the 90s, and I can't remember what brand you guys had in there, but I mean, it was a floor full of surfboards.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
So we're back to that now, where we got tons of boards in here. My racks are packed and it's cool. I love equipment. So, I'm not shy to bring
No.
gear in.
You keep product full. I mean, I've been to your
Yeah.
store several times, and currently work with the brand that sold into your store. And I'll say one thing. I'm not giving myself any self plugs, but what is really nice is our rack is usually in your Instagram photos, so I can count merchandise and call the
Oh,
rack.
the Martha rack. Yeah. 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 We'll plug
I'm
it.
all,
Martha
Steve, it
hats.
looks
Come
like
and
they
get one.
sold down.
Yeah. 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 No, I know. I was just on the phone with Mendelson earlier today.
Oh, that's
Talking.
funny. He's a great dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I was saying is looking back on time, I can't believe it was the mid 90s, the first time I came into Central Coast Surfboards. And that not only that was at the mid 90s, 30 years ago, you guys were around 18 years prior to that.
I know.
So freaking
Yeah.
kudos to the team and you for taking this on and keeping that tradition alive for another 50 plus
Right.
years.
Well, the founders, just did it right, and they've all retired from the shop very well, and they just did a good job. So that's where the pressure comes. Just try to keep doing it right.
Yeah. Keep that
So
torch lit and moving forward.
totally, absolutely, yeah,
Awesome, man. Well, I'm stoked that we got to chat. I have one last question for you,
yep,
because San Luis Obispo is different than NorCal. It's different than SoCal. What
yes.
advice do you have for new brands and new reps that want to work with Central Coast Surfboards?
Huh. It's funny because I've been getting hit just yesterday. And today, two new brands have come and made presentations and things like that. Just from the manufacturers, have a good quality product, stand behind your product. We will always stand behind all the products we sell to our customers, but I need the brands to stand behind the products as well. If there's issues and things like that, which there aren't very often, and just make sure we're getting enough margin, so we can keep the lights on. That's a important factor. It's fun and everything, but we still are a business and need to make money and pay our employees and things like that. So, yeah, just keep, having good product and good representation as far as sales reps go, and, just help us help them
Yeah,
would be the way to do it.
yeah,
Make it easy. Not to
yeah.
sound lazy, I say make it easy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier too. It's like not only just reps, but brands, provide a service. Don't just
Yeah.
expect to sell a product and then disappear and come back when you want to sell another product. Like you
Yeah.
said, whether you're the
Yeah.
rep or the brand, stand behind what you're doing and make it easy for you guys because this is a business. We have enough hobbies, and if you weren't making money, it would be another hobby. It'd be, but luckily
Yes. Yeah.
you found something that you love doing and you can turn it into a business.
Yeah. I've been fortunate for sure. I'm stoked on it, so can't
Awesome.
complain.
You
Yeah.
know, sounds like a great day already. If you can
Yeah,
do what you
for
love and
sure.
you can't complain, life is working out pretty good. Well, I'm stoked we got
Yeah.
this time to chat with you. If you guys are in San Luis Obispo, stop by Central Coast Surfboards. You won't be bummed, because they have everything you need to go surfing and beyond. And again, Thursdays, just the farmers market is fantastic. That whole downtown San Luis Obispo area is fantastic. So many stores, restaurants, bars. I actually was fortunate enough that I had a friend that lived in one of the Victorians right off Higuera, just across the street, and I would visit him every
Oh,
weekend.
nice.
Just so
Yeah.
many hidden gems in that downtown area.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful town. There's so much to do outdoors here that, It's killer. I mean, yesterday I took the day off. I surfed, I kite surfed, and I rode my mountain bike all yesterday. So it was killer.
All in
And all
all
that stuff's
in one
always
day.
around here. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sounds like a perfect day off.
It was a good day off. Totally. I'm not gonna have one off for a while, so I wanted to make the most of it.
Good thing you didn't get hurt doing one of those
Yeah,
to affect the next
totally.
one you're going to do.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Digital Friends. Scott, we'll see you next time we're up at the store and
Right
we'll
on.
soon.
All right. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.